All right, everybody. Whoa. Ben just got lost. I got him on the phone. He's got to reconnect. You there, Ben? You need click on the link again, Ben. We're having some technical issues with his audio. Had to set up a Bluetooth. Somehow it kicked you out. Well, the lovely technology. Bluetooths work all the time except for when they don't and the other stuff. All right. All right, we got Ben back.
Here I am.
Sweet. Now I have Ben in my ear and my other ear, so
I'm in
maybe
both ears.
maybe I'll do it this way. All right. Sounds good. So, Ben, other than our technical difficulties, how are you doing? Are you in Denver or Arizona right now?
That is a great question. Right now, I am in Denver, but I'm wishing that I was in Arizona because it's snowing here, and I think Arizona is like 75 out. So
Yeah, I'm in Denver as well, so we'll have to connect sometime, get some lunch or something, bro. It's been a while, and I wish I was
yeah,
back in Mexico right now as well. So
I hear you. You got any plans to go back to Mexico soon?
yeah, I just got to deal with a few things here, so you know how it is. Kind of like you, back and forth type of situation as well.
Hmm.
So
That's right.
all right, so you were supposed to be on a while, and unfortunately, you had that horrible accident your mom had. So I'd like to give condolences for that. So
Thank you.
yeah, and it happens to the best of us, and it's really unfortunate. I know you were really close with your mom, and I just I you're keeping on trucking on, dealing with everything because you got your kiddos and everything else. So I admire
Yeah.
you for that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, she was such an important person in our life and my kid's life. And what happened, with her passing, very unexpected. She was on vacation in Mexico and ended up drowning, which is still tough to say out loud. But we love her, and the impact that she had on me, my family. Um, and we are just going to honor her every day that we live. I'm her legacy, my family is her legacy, and she won't be forgotten, and she'll be honored every day.
Great. Well, um, let's get on to it. So you're here to talk about mortgages, and primarily we're going to be talking about programs that you have that will help the self-employed. You and me had talked about it, and I've talked to my dad was a realtor, as we had discussed before. He had passed away. It'll be it's over 13 years now, 2008. So 14 years or something. It's been a minute. I can't keep track of
Hmm.
the years, but 12, 13 years. So um I understand, but I learned a lot from him. And there's a lot of people out there that are big business, and they have no problem getting a mortgage, but there is a lot of guys that are smaller businesses. They make good money, but they don't know
Hmm.
there's programs out there. So that's what we're going to get into in a second. But I really appreciate all the knowledge you have, and it's because of your background. So if you want to go over your background, like where you grew up and college and all that, and then get into how you got into the mortgage business. And we already know you've done basically every job, but you can go into that, and then we can get into the nitty gritty.
That's right. Yeah, I was born and raised here in Denver, Colorado. From the Applewood area, went to Wheat Ridge High School, graduated from there, and then ended up going to University of Colorado in Boulder. And as soon as I graduated, my uncle was in the mortgage business in Phoenix, Arizona. I always knew that I wanted to get into mortgage, and so after I graduated, I moved down there and lived and worked in Phoenix for about 10 years. Came back here in 2015 and kind of restarted and relaunched my career here on the origination side. And very thankful for all the opportunities that I've had, the different jobs that I've done over the years. And I'm someone that loves what I do. I love the industry, and I really love being able to help families, first-time home buyers, and others with their financial goals.
All right. And you want to go into why you're so good at what you do? Not to pat yourself on the back, but I'm patting you on the back right here.
Well, thank you. Yeah, one thing that really makes me unique from a mortgage origination perspective is that I really have done every role in mortgage. I've sat in every chair. I've worked in compliance. I've worked as a mortgage processor. I've been in management. I've worked as a mortgage underwriter, and then I transitioned to origination about 5 or 6 years ago, and have been doing that since. So, just having that diversified skill set is something that really makes me unique as an individual. I understand all parts of the process and how everything works and goes together. And then it also just allows me to provide a higher level of service to my customers, especially customers that are self-employed, just because I do have that underwriting experience. When you have a self-employed customer, there's really several different ways the tax returns can be filed, and having the ability and the literacy to go through that and qualify my customers and do that without sending it off to underwriting, and set those expectations for what is needed, what those next steps are, and how to get my customers approved is really, really important, and something it's an area that I really stand out in.
Yeah, and kind of like back in the day when my dad was a realtor, people when they were selling their houses, it took 2 to 3 months. Nowadays they put a house, now they pre-sell it, pre-list it. That's the thing going on now. And houses, it's sometimes you have to be pre-qualified. So
Hmm.
you have to have that letter in your hand, and you have to know what your availability is going on. Otherwise, you're not going to be getting a house, or at least not a house that you want. So painting that
That's
picture
right.
and saying, here's what you can do, you know, here's where the max, and yeah, and I know you would say, hey, here's where I would be, but here's the max, but you're going to be stretching it thin here, type of situation.
Yeah, I really agree with that. And I'm a big believer in financial literacy and educating the customer. And the pre approval process is such an important step, just to know what those expectations are as far as down payment, as far as monthly payment. Are you eligible for any other programs, any down payment assistance, any first time homebuyer programs? And so, talking to a lender and getting pre approved is a critical first step, and it's going to allow for the highest level of success and the least amount of stress if it's done correctly.
Great. So on to something fun. What do you do when you're not working?
When I'm not working, I have two kids that are in junior high now, which is tough to believe. And we have a lot of fun together. We like to go to Dave and Buster's or go to Top Golf, go bowling. A lot of times we'll do that on the weekend or just hang out. Also have three great dogs, two of which are Labradoodles. I call them my third and fourth kids because I love them so much. Um, and other than that, I'm really enjoying just becoming a better version of myself. I have a really strict routine that I follow. I work out every day. I listen to podcasts just on leadership, on real estate, and then I'm always reading something as well. So just trying to really improve myself as a person. That's also been very fulfilling.
Nice. All right. Now on to the meat. Let us know about programs that these self-employed listeners and watchers could use to help themselves in the get purchase properties.
Yeah, the biggest thing right now, as we're in Q1 of 2021, everyone's getting ready and prepared to file their taxes for 2021 here in 2022. So my suggestion is if you do have any real estate goals, get with a mortgage professional. Specifically, myself, I don't consider myself a loan officer or just a loan officer. I also consider myself a mortgage planner as well. And I do work with a lot of self-employed customers, and kind of what we touched on earlier. extremely literate on all the different types of tax filings, the Schedule C, which is for the sole proprietor, the 1065, which is a partnership, the 1120S, which is a S corporation. Each one of those businesses has a different way of calculating income. Believe it or not, there's going to be certain expenses and line items that you can use to itemize that have the benefit of reducing your tax liability. But in the mortgage world, we can also add that back to your qualified income. So things like depreciation, business use of home, business miles, those are all things and line items that the self-employed customer are going to want to really capitalize on. In this COVID environment that we're in, there's also Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA COVID underwriting guidelines that didn't exist prior. And what we have to do there is get a profit and loss statement and document that, and also document 3 months worth of business bank statements just to ensure that the business hasn't adversely been impacted by the pandemic and COVID. And so far, every customer that I've sent a pre-approval letter out is closed and closed on time. And so we have a 100% follow through rate. As far as some specific programs, we just released a investor cash flow program. And that's a really exciting program. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, you can only have 10 finance properties at once. With this specific program, there's no limit. And it only requires a 10% down payment. And our only concern is what the investor, the property cash flow looks like. We're able to really not even consider a lot of the other items other than credit. So as long as the credit is there, as long as the customer has 10% down, and as long as the property that they're looking to purchase is going to cash flow, that's going to be our only concern. We're not going to look for a lot of those other qualifying docs that you would see on a traditional mortgage. And that's going to be something that's really going to be popular. I do work with a lot of professional real estate investors as well. We just released this product here in the last week and a half or so, and it's already drawing a lot of attention. And another cool benefit is that we are licensed in all 50 states. And so you don't have to be just in Colorado to take advantage of that.
I was gonna bring that up. I was gonna ask you, so that's always good info. That's the other reason I brought you in, because I try to bring people on the show that can help people anywhere, not just I only work in Colorado. Well, we work with contractors all over the U.S., so that's really important. Plus, I've worked with some in networking some other people that are in mortgage, and they work for banks, but they do not have the programs like you have. And no, there was one guy, he's really successful, and it's like, no, you have to just show your personal income. And I'm like, so you are just literally like, it's black and white. There's no area where, okay, a self-employed person can use those tax advantages like you discussed and still be able to count that as income for your mortgage purposes. So and
Yeah,
that's
it's really
really good.
exciting. And yeah, it's really exciting. And, we do a lot of other things too. We are an FDIC insured bank, but we actually have over 25 different portfolio programs that are specific to North Point. And we have our own guidelines on, for example, we have 100% financing on doctor's loans. We do non-warrantable condos. We also do land loans, which has also been very, very popular. And then we do things like home equity lines of credit, home equity loans, and then we have a really cool all-in-one product as well.
So all you guys that are making all your guaps out there, your $20 million plus contractors, you want to start investing, you might want to build an HOA complex, of townhomes. Ben's the man to talk to about getting that land money and everything. And I assume I might have missed this, but do you guys have, on top of the land loans, do you have construction loan programs as well? And then can you swap those out to a regular mortgage, or how does that all work?
Yes, yeah. So we do land loans, which have been very popular. And then if someone wants to build on the land, we also do offer construction loans as well. And then we also have a product where you can convert the construction loan into fixed rate financing. So it's essentially a one close. You close on the construction loan, but then it has the ability to convert the fixed rate product after all the construction is complete.
And are the construction loans, are they still popular with the fix and flip style, or is it more popular to do a regular loan and then get a line of credit, or what do you see in the market?
Yeah, on the construction side, that's going to be more, buy the land and build, something like your dream home or, a mountain property, something like that. For the fix and flips, we'll utilize home equity lines of credit for that. We have the ability to do that, and then we also do rehabilitation loans as well.
Okay, sweet. Um, there was one more point I was going to ask, and I totally forgot. Hmm. I guess you know what they say: if you forgot, it must have been a lie. Um, so to get a hold of Ben, and obviously Ben, if you got anything else to add, go ahead. But he can be reached at 602-904-2443. Again, that's 602-904-2443. And his email is benjamin.adams@northpoint.com. Anything else you want to add, Ben?
Hey, I'm so glad to be on the show here today. Thank you for having me on. I'm a big fan of yours and a big believer in you, and certainly uh, believe in what you're doing. And I think just dialogue like this, bringing people on, uh, it's a value add, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be on here, and appreciate your time.
All right. And if anybody needs help with their estimates or supplements or consulting, you can contact me at 720-702-1938, or you can email me at jason@furtadolaw.solutions. Thanks again for being a part of this, Ben, and we look forward to, if you have any new programs, let me know, and I'll add it to the posts.
We'll do it again. Appreciate your time.